Welcome to Idaho Living. It's Friday the 13th.
Boo.
Spooky day.
Yeah, spooky day.
Do you do anything crazy for Friday the 13th? I feel like you would make like a special scary meal for your kids, or no?
No, that's Halloween. I
Halloween.
don't do anything for
Yeah, we don't really either.
Friday the 13th.
It's
If
just kind of a
anything,
funny
I
day.
just think Friday the 13th is a lucky day.
A lucky day. I like that positive spin.
Yeah, let's put a positive spin on that. Yeah.
Good job, Amy. What about fun things going on? Do you think there's fun things going on this weekend?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, speaking of spooky and, stuff like that, there is the Boise Zoo Spooktacular.
Oh, Spooktacular. Now, is that different than Boo at the Zoo?
It is. Okay, so the Spooktacular, it's going to be this weekend. It runs this weekend. They're going to have magicians. They've got a dance for the kids.
Oh, how
They've got all
So it's a
kinds
total
of things.
family-friendly, all-ages
Oh,
event.
completely. And it's really good for the younger kids. And then Boo at the Zoo is more trick-or-treating. So like they wear their costumes, they go around and they get treats. And there's other things to do there as well. But the Spooktacular is super fun for the whole family.
Well, if you want to get out without your kids, though, right here at the Village at Meridian, there's Witches Night Out, and that's next Wednesday, the 18th.
Yeah.
So you can get out there. I mean, I'm sure kids can come if they want to. It doesn't say kids excluded.
Right.
But it would be fun to get a group of girlfriends together, get all witched out, and
Speaking of witched out, we're going to have Katie do witch makeup.
I am. I have a great local high school student. She's a makeup artist, and she's going to transform this into Witch Town.
Yeah, Witch Town.
Witch Town.
So as we're approaching quickly to Halloween, I think that we need to start thinking about getting ready for the parties, the activities, the nights out. So what do you guys do for Halloween? Does somebody man the door at home and hand out candy?
Isn't that always the question? Like, we kind of have to Rochambeau to be able to like choose who gets to trick or treat, who has to stay home. Usually we both want to go trick or treating, so we leave the bowl of candy out, and oh well, free for all. Whoever comes first gets whatever they want.
Yeah, we've definitely done that because you want to watch your kids go and trick or treat, and it's so fun for them and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a good show. We've got lots of fun things here, so don't move. We'll be right back. Coming up, we're talking about the flu, how to avoid it, and what to do if you get it.
Then these two bloggers are making beautiful pieces out of someone else's junk. We have the Fancy Farm Girls here with us coming up next. I am so excited about our first guests today. They are twin sisters. They're amazing furniture redesigners. They're self-declared furniture hoarders, and they make the most beautiful pieces out of somebody else's secondhand items. We have here today twin sisters, Liz and Marg. They are Fancy Farm Girls. If you don't follow them on Instagram, you should. It's like total eye candy. I love, like I could scroll through all night looking at all of your projects that you've recreated. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And I love all of this cute shabby chic stuff you've brought today. And I've also noticed over the years you've been able to kind of balance with the trends too in design. You don't just get stuck on one thing, one style, and go with it. You've been able to adapt as things have gone from shabby chic into farmhouse trend. It's really just cute stuff that you do. So how did you get started in this?
So about 6 years ago, I found myself, we were renting for a few years, and as a renter you're a bit limited.
Right.
And so we just started redoing all the stuff that we had and
kind of updating pieces that you already had at home.
Yeah, finding pieces, thrift stores, secondhand pieces, and then turning them into things that we love. And
that's so
after
awesome.
our houses were full, we had to find an outlet to
get rid of some of the pieces. I'm sure your
husbands wanted in our garage.
Yeah, they wanted to be able to park in the garage or at least do some man projects in there.
Yeah. So we just love thrift stores and yard sales, and we can't say no. So we just bring it all home, and so we
see what you
came
can
to
make
the
of
point
it.
where we had to do something with it because our houses were full. So.
And is your number one? It seems kind of to me like your number one tool would be paint.
Yeah,
you do a lot with paint.
Yep.
Last week on the show, we did a craft with some chalk powder. And I know I've seen on your blog that you've used that BB Frost chalk powder to make chalk paint before.
Right. And we're by no means paint snobs. We use house paint, chalk paint,
spray paint.
Spray paint. So we've just learned to look at shapes of things instead of, don't see them as they are. But like this lamp started out black. This started out just a brassy kind of gold, and this was just a dated old, scruffed up
$4
brown
table
piece.
from a yard sale.
That's so perfect. You have the vision for it, and that's really what people need to have is the vision, right? Like anyone can probably do this stuff, but you have to be creative and be able to have the vision, and you can find YouTube videos or what have you on how to do it, but you have to just be able to see it and know that it could be something better.
Right.
So now you mentioned that you have all these extra pieces, you bring them in and you need an outlet to get rid of them. And I know for the last few years I've seen your flyers, you do the Fancy Farm Girls barn sale, and that's coming up, that's actually going on today, and then tomorrow as well, Saturday the 14th.
Yep.
What are your favorites? Like, what do you get the most excited when you find something at a thrift store? Is there a certain piece that you're always looking for?
Just unique things. Most of our stuff is just one of a kind. You couldn't go to a box store and get it. But it's also, we have the thrill of the hunt of just finding something for so cheap and then being able to turn it around and make it something that we love.
Right. Now, I saw on your blog there was a piece that, I don't know what you would call it, maybe kind of like a china cabinet type thing, but he painted it like a navy blue. That was really cute.
Just something a little more modern that fit in with my house style.
And that's a piece she just found on Craigslist. And you know, purists sometimes are mortified that you'd paint wood, but that's the style we like, so we just change it to what we like.
Well, I noticed too, you mentioned being a purist and not painting wood. I saw in one of your posts that you did a piano and painted the piano, I think like a light blue or something.
Blue. It's super fun.
But you'd be, I mean, I would be really scared to paint, you know, like a family heirloom, like a piano or something, but you're not compromising the integrity of the keys or the sound, you're just giving it a new look.
Yeah, you're just making it something you love. A lot of people won't touch it because it's an antique, but they don't really like it. Well, my mom gave that to me, but once you put paint on it, most people, you know, if you like this style, all of a sudden they love it, and so they have something that their mom gave them that they love, but they also are able to integrate it into their style.
And they're more willing to just keep it out there on display instead of kind of tucking it away somewhere. Well, this is so fun. I wish we could do like a whole show with you guys and go through your barn sale. But we will have all that information posted for you out there. You should go check them out. There's going to be great pieces for sale. And I think you also have some other vendors there as well.
Lots of local vendors coming out.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Liz and Mark, for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Coming up, we're headed out to one of the scariest places in Idaho. We learn about the haunted history at the Idaho Penitentiary.
Up next, we're sitting down with Dr. Smith and talking about the dreaded flu season. It's here and we need to be prepared.
This segment is sponsored by Meridian Pediatrics. A wave of the flu could hit this season particularly hard, so we wanted to make sure that you are prepared to take care and handle the flu or even prevent it. So we've asked Dr. Smith with Meridian Pediatrics to be with us here today to help us navigate some of this information. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it when you come here. We always get lots of good information.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the flu. Let's talk about signs and symptoms first of the flu. What are we looking for?
Right. So the signs and symptoms typically are fast onset. So compared to maybe other cold type viruses that affect your upper respiratory symptoms, which is your nose and your mouth and your lungs, those tend to kind of take a little bit longer to start affecting you, whereas the flu will come on quick. It'll come on typically with a headache, sore throat, fever, possibly some muscle aches. And in kids, it can lead to some stomach symptoms as well. And that's one of the misnomers that exists out there is that, you know, people say my child has the stomach flu, and typically they're referring to some other virus that's causing vomiting, diarrhea, not necessarily influenza, which influenza can cause some vomiting, diarrhea, but is a more significant illness also affecting everything up here above the neck.
Okay, so that's good to know. So once we have notice that we've got the signs and symptoms of the flu. What do we do to treat it, and what can we do within our household to try to keep it from spreading to others?
So for adults, especially those adults and children that have some sort of immunocompromised state, maybe they're receiving a treatment that causes their immune system to be a bit suppressed, then it's really important to get in and see your provider and possibly get treatment. And this also applies for infants and those who are building their immune system. And the treatment is an antiviral medicine, if you were able to get in and take it within about 48 hours of symptoms onset, then it can reduce the duration of the illness and help you feel better a little bit sooner.
Okay. So you do have a small window of opportunity to treat it that way.
Yes. If you know, sometimes we still give the medicine even if they're beyond that window, depending on if they have other conditions that we can maybe help the influenza go away quicker. But there is a nice window where it's been studied to show it reduces the duration.
Okay, very good to know. So let's talk about immunization for the flu.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is a great time of year to talk about influenza. We do not see a lot of influenza in our clinic this time of year. However, January through March is fast approaching, and it's best to be prepared now. It's best to get your vaccine now. It takes about 2 weeks after you get the vaccine to get the immune system up to prevent the illness. And then for some children who've never had the vaccine before, they have to get a booster shot about a month later. So it's best to just get in now, come to one of our flu clinics at Meridian Pediatrics, and we'll get you hooked up with the vaccine.
Okay, so when you come in with your infant where you say that you have, you need a booster a month later, do you, the doctor, inform the parent of that so that they know?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and we get them on the schedule to get them back in for their second shot.
Very good. So when you have a child at home, or even you yourself, but let's focus on children, you have the influenza. What are some tips or tricks that you can do to help them be more comfortable? Because it is pretty miserable.
Right. So, you know, it's important to treat their symptoms. So one of the best ways to treat symptoms is for those muscle aches, that sore throat, that headache, a good dose of Tylenol or a good dose of ibuprofen. I personally don't recommend giving both and alternating. I recommend picking one of them that works best for that person.
Okay.
And you can stick to that schedule that's recommended on the bottle.
Okay.
And make sure that their pains are taken care of.
Okay.
Lots of fluids. They got to drink, and that helps to kind of keep their secretions a bit thin and help them flush out the virus a little bit sooner.
So when you're saying liquids, are you talking water, or is it anything you can get your child to drink?
Anything would be great, but water is awesome because you're not necessarily adding extra calories. Now, if they're not eating in the first place, then you definitely want to give a drink that has some electrolytes like Pedialyte or a little bit of Gatorade, so that you're keeping their blood sugar up and their other electrolytes normal.
Okay. All right. These are all great tips, and we so appreciate you coming in here every time. Always come in with good information for us.
It's my pleasure. I'm here to serve, and I'm glad to spread this information to the people.
And we can tell you're here to serve, and that's what we appreciate most about you. If you'd like to get in touch with Dr. Smith, go to meridianpediatrics.com, and they'd be happy to hear from you. We'll be right back.
Amy and I put our brave girl pants on and headed out to the old pen to talk about the haunted history of this historic landmark right here in our backyard.
Then we're turning our darling Katie into a witch with a little makeup magic. Stay tuned.
We're here at the old Idaho Pen, and whether you believe in ghosts or not, this place certainly tops the list of scariest places in Idaho.
It sure does. So, Katie, let's go inside and learn some spooky stuff.
Come on.
We are standing outside of the famous 2 house here at the Idaho State Penitentiary, and we're gonna go inside and meet Amber Byerly, who's the site administrator, and she's gonna share some haunted history with us.
And we're told this is one of the creepiest buildings on the property here. So Amy, let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Hi, Amber. Hello. How are we doing today?
Well, thank you for having us here in
Absolutely.
2 house.
We're in 2
house.
Absolutely.
Now, we know that you've worked here for some time, so you obviously have a love for this historical place. But tell us what it is that the site director does.
You know, I get to share the creepy history of the site with wonderful people like you. Now we just want to share the history, and some of that is actually kind of dark, and so
yeah,
we get to
and
do
it is
that.
a rich history.
Absolutely, we've got some stories that I'll share with you today.
Okay, so we understand there's a story about, is it cell 9?
Cell number 9. Would you guys like to go down?
Would
Tell
love
you a little
to.
bit about it?
Okay, but Amber,
we're hanging on to you.
This is certainly creepy. I mean, the peeling paint and the walls and the concrete, it definitely adds to it.
And we've had some people that have come through and experienced a lot, and particularly with this cell number 9. At one point, we even had a psychic come out, and they really felt activity here and said something happened here.
Okay, now when you say activity, what are you talking about, Amber?
Well, we're talking about paranormal activity. So that can be anything that's really unexplained. So whether that's noises, voices are often heard here, feelings, sensations. We have had some people who've actually felt a touch or a brush of the hair. Those are a little more rare, but they do happen. And so this psychic was adamant that something had happened here. And we do know that unfortunate things, deaths happened in the cell house.
You have that history.
Exactly. So, so with that, we've just had people after the fact, not knowing anything about the psychic experience, that have said, "Wait, what happened in here?"
They
so
could
you
feel
hear those
something.
stories enough that it makes you wonder. Even
kinda
a
starts to
skeptic. I'm a
confirm.
little bit of a skeptic, but even me, I'm like, what did happen in there?
Yeah.
So no one can deny that. There's a heaviness to this place. And there's a lot of despair. I mean, people came here at their darkest hour.
Sure.
And of course, again, we've experienced some death and executions, things like that. So that stays here. Those stories stay here.
Yeah.
And we want to bring those to life so people can have a better context of the place.
What about shows? Like what kind of big network shows have been filmed here?
So the great ones, the Ghost Adventures filmed here, found some activity in some of our locations in the yard. And we also had Mysteries at the Museum, who took a look at some of our artifacts. And then just recently, Rob Lowe in the Lowe Files, he filmed here with his son, and they did a whole episode about fear. And this is no better place than to talk about fear and how you feel those things, whether you can explain them or not.
Right. Well, speaking of fear, I think I kind of have that heebie-jeebie feeling. How about we go check out the Rose Garden?
And we can talk about upcoming events.
A little bit more fun stuff.
Okay,
Let's
good.
do that.
Okay, now we're out here in this beautiful rose garden. Amber, thank you for letting us continue out here. I feel much better being among the beautiful flowers.
Yes, we do try to make
To balance it out.
Balance it out. Well, Amber, tell us what is going on here at the penitentiary during the month of October.
Now we've got a busy fall. Unfortunately, some of our events are already sold out, our Freaky Friday event, but the All Ages Night on October 27th of Frightened Felons is still available. And it's a wonderful evening. We've got a haunted house, costume contest, there's food vendors, so there's a little bit of something for everybody in the All Ages Night. Everyone can come.
Okay, so all ages, we're talking families.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Families are welcome to come. There's a great scavenger hunt, a few games that people can play, and otherwise it's just learning a lot about this site and being here and kind of getting creeped out.
Now, is it
sounds
toned
like
down?
fun.
Is it toned down a little bit on all
We
ages
toned
night?
down it just a little bit, but there's an opportunity to go to the scary part. So if you don't want to do the scary parts,
You don't have
you
to.
can go do other
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
That's good to know. Well, Amber, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking us around. If you get the opportunity, come out and
Check it
part
out.
in this, in this great history. Thank you so much, Amber.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Coming up, I'm transforming into a witch. See how you can use these easy tips to become a spooky Halloween character without having to hire a Hollywood professional.
Welcome back. While we've been at commercial break, Katie has been having a subtle change made to her look. Well, maybe not so subtle. We've invited Bailey here, who is a makeup artist extraordinaire in her local high school theater department. Bailey, thanks for being here.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Oh, well, we're excited to have you here. And Katie, of course, is thrilled to death with her new look.
I'm going grocery shopping right after this, so
Who wouldn't?
check me out at Winco.
Well, what we wanted to do was have someone come here and show us some ways that we could save on getting interesting Halloween looks. So when you go and hire a makeup artist to do creative looks like Katie's, sometimes it can get pretty expensive, and not everybody has the budget for something like that. So we wanted to talk to Bailey here and see what it is that we can do at home to create these kinds of looks. So what do you think is the most important part when you're putting together your Halloween makeup?
Oh, definitely having colors that stand out,
Okay.
and like the glitter on the eyes definitely adds a extra touch.
It's very dramatic.
Yes, and the green, and especially in the brows, how they're a lot darker.
Yes.
So they stand out because that's a big part of the witch look.
The
having
witch,
those.
yeah, Katie, they're quite bushy.
Oh, I can't wait to see myself.
Yeah, so I think just having products that are really pigmented,
Okay.
and they don't have to be expensive. Affordable works
So can
just
you
as
get
well.
can you get makeup that's pigmented like this at your local grocery
Oh,
store or
definitely.
drugstore?
Like all of these products are affordable and easy to use.
Easy to get your hands on
Yes.
too, right? If they're at the grocery
Yes,
store.
definitely.
Okay, so how did you get started? Is this, did you go to some big fancy class to learn how to do this, or is this something that like someone like myself could do?
Definitely anyone can do it. I got started in my theater department. I just signed up for stagecraft class
Okay.
and watched YouTube videos.
Okay, so that's what I was
and-
going to say.
yes.
So are you Googling, or not Googling, but are you getting in there on YouTube and you can look
Like
up
what
like a witch
searches?
makeup
Yeah,
tutorial?
definitely. Anything that you want to create, just search it, and I'm sure people have put many videos out there on how to create it.
Okay, now while we were at the on the commercial break, she did Katie's eyes and lips and her contour on her cheeks, and then she started to work on her nose and her chin, and I said, why are you doing that, and what did you tell me about that?
Well, all the features, if you leave out like the nose or the chin, it just looks incomplete.
flat,
Yeah,
maybe?
and flat. You need dimension in it, and just adding the contours all over the face really brings it all together.
Okay, and how did you choose the colors? Because when I think of a witch, I would not have put these colors together, but they're fantastic.
Yes, definitely. The purples are just fun and bright, and the glitter just looks great, and the green. So if you don't want to do like a full face of green, just adding in green around the cheeks where you would put like your bronzer or blush just identifies it as a witch and makes it look fun.
So you could probably use any color that you choose.
Yes, definitely.
Like any kind of a color palette, but you want to make sure, because like the purple and the greens do
go
go
together. Yes.
So is that something you'd want to do, is something that goes together but is still dramatic?
Exactly. Like you could even add in blue colors or pinks or anything just to make it fun and
Yeah.
unique.
So tell us, what is your favorite part about doing makeup artistry?
Oh, just creating something and really
Like seeing it come to
Yeah,
fruition, like have a
exactly.
vision and then being able to carry it
yes,
through.
exactly.
Well, we so appreciate you being on here.
Yes.
And we
Thanks
are
for
going
having
to
me.
get on Katie's broomstick and fly away for the weekend. So get out there and enjoy some Idaho living.